Central, Adam Deal, Charles Ashley, and it's time to discuss some NFL. Let's jump up in the rankings here, Charles, on 3 and out. First, though, before we get into the Super Bowl, I want to talk about some of what you want to talk about, some of the awards passed out this weekend. Of course, Aaron Rodgers was thrown out as the MVP. I don't think there was ever any doubt about that, right?
Well, I don't know. There was a couple of people who thought that some of the running backs, DeMarco Murray, for instance, had a chance to maybe push him to the limit. I was surprised seeing J.J. Watt so high
I think
in MVP votes.
This is because people really like him. I know he was solid, but MVP, come on.
It's hard for me to even give
I think people are just pushing for defensive MVP. I think people just want to see it because it hasn't been done in
but okay, now if the Texans were to win their division, got to the playoffs, made a run, I could see why people would probably give them a chance to win it. But the fact that they didn't even make the playoffs, and they wasted votes on them.
Yeah,
to me, those are wasted votes. You could have gave it to Murray, even a Romo.
There's no doubt he's the best defensive player and had the best defensive season, but he was not the most valuable player of the league.
No.
Well, how about my guy Tony Romo? He finished third in the votings.
Watt stole those votes.
I thought he should be up there. I didn't think he was going to win.
You didn't think he'd win?
No, I didn't think he'd win. Aaron Rodgers, come on.
Aaron had a lights out
6
season.
interceptions.
Yeah, lights out season. So
he was
took his team as far as possible. Yeah, he was unguardable. Like, when you think about it, he didn't throw any picks at Lambeau this year in the regular season.
Fantastic.
I mean,
Bruce Arians,
knocked it out.
Head coach of the year. We mentioned that.
No problem with that.
The AP Offensive Player of the Year. That goes to DeMarco Murray. So congratulations to Murray, as he obviously 1,800 yards.
These dang awards always confuse me.
Are the Cowboys going to keep that guy right there? That's the topic going forward.
Well, because they talk about how you don't spend a lot on running backs and receivers because what's key
it's hard.
Is line, quarterback.
They'll keep one of them. I don't know if they'll keep them both. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Who you think they're going to give up, man?
They're going to keep Dez for sure.
You think so?
I think so.
I think he's more than just the receiver. I think he's more of a heartbeat of the team.
Yeah,
he gives them a little bit more of a lift emotionally. So he does more for that team than just the stats, I think. So I would think that you would keep him. Let's talk J.J. Watt, winning Defensive Player of the Year. Everyone knew that. Actually, I don't know.
Good.
I think Justin Houston could have made up. He had over 20 sacks also.
Nah, get off him.
Come on, man.
I know he had a good year with Kansas City, but J.J. Watt was scoring touchdowns too. I mean, all over the place.
Defensive Player of the Year.
He scored a lot of defensive touchdowns. I think he had 3
I still think Justin Houston should have gotten at least 4 or 5 votes at least.
Nah, he's trash.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Odell Beckham Jr. Fantastic.
Rookie of the Year.
I hate that he's going to have to play against the Cowboys, but that dude is good. Odell Beckham Jr. is for real, Charles.
Yeah, look at that.
My goodness. Yeah. He's for real.
I'll tell you who else was for real. Aaron Donald for the Rams. My man, Defensive Player of the Year for the rookies.
Yeah.
Big time for them. That Rams team is stout.
They are. They got a quarterback
stout.
in there.
If their quarterback can just be consistent.
Maybe. A quarterback and a receiver.
I just think a quarterback, because the way the league is now, guys come from nowhere to be stars at receiver.
It'll be interesting, and maybe they'll be the LA Rams here soon.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Let's move on. Okay, and let's talk about the matchup that was the Super Bowl, a 28-24 win for the Patriots. Tom Brady, fourth quarter, 13 of 15 for over 128 yards passing. He was surgical. He cements his legacy. Charles, this guy is the best ever. I'm just going to throw it out there. You can argue it, everybody can argue it, but when you've been to the Super Bowl 6 times and you've won 4 of them, and you have a performance like that against the Legion of Boom, this great defense in Seattle, some people will call it maybe one of the best defenses of all time. He tore them up, carved them up in the fourth quarter.
They made him work for it. He worked for it. He threw 2 picks.
Carved them up.
He threw 2 picks. They did a good job on him.
They
did a good enough job at him that the game was won. If all they did was run the ball with Marshawn Lynch, the game would have been over. Game, set, match.
Did he carve them up in the fourth quarter? Tom Brady. Yes, he did.
Had a good
he was 13 of 15 with 2 touchdowns.
I thought that they ran out a little gas or whatnot. The Patriots capitalized off of the Seahawks putting too much pressure in the beginning and then making that bad call at the end.
All that being said, that is the worst call in NFL history. Play call, that is. You probably heard it through sports talk all day. All day. But it's the truth, and it needs to be said. Offensive play caller, and I don't like the Pete Carroll, it was the right call. We had to check it. No.
He has to say that.
You got Marshawn Lynch. You run him the football. He gets in the end zone, and you're celebrating right now. You're throwing a parade tomorrow in Seattle. Not anymore, though.
You know what? I'm not an offensive coordinator. I'm not a coach in football. But what I do know, when you have a stud in your backfield, and then the play prior to that, he ripped off 5 to get you to the 0.5-inch yard line, basically. All you got to do is say, hey, we got one timeout left. There's plenty of time. We can run and do another running play. But not even that, Adam. They lined up in a shotgun
and I think
with no one in the backfield.
I think Belichick, I don't know what he was doing, saving his timeouts. Over a minute left, he just let the clock roll, which was interesting. Ends up working out for him because his player makes a great defensive play. Now, Bill Belichick, he's always calling the right calls. No, he got lucky. Of course, there was a little scrum at the end. Irvin threw a punch. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be fine, but tempers are going to flare at the end of the game. You lose your composure.
That was a terrible injury.
How about
to Jeremy Lane?
Though? How about, a ridiculous catch. The Patriots 2 years in a row have lost or 2 Super Bowls in a row, have lost because of a ridiculous catch. You remember Tyree's stuck on his helmet catch. You remember Manningham's catch on the sideline against the Patriots last time. And almost a third wild catch did the Patriots in. But I think in the end, maybe they needed that because they lost the last 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. You had all the momentum in the world. You had this phenomenal catch, right? Kurtz comes, pulls it down, bobbles it everywhere. Everyone at the house was like, oh, he still had the ball. So I think the same thing happened to the Patriots. Not the Patriots, but the Seahawks. Everyone's disoriented. They had to blow a timeout because they're wondering, was it a catch? Was it a catch? I'm confused to why there aren't just plays set. Why they don't just get up there and they have a go-to play.
Marshawn Lynch,
go to beast mode and
give it to him. Let him run. If he doesn't get in, you take a timeout. You got 2 plays left to get in the end zone.
So now, Seahawks. Do you miss a window because Russell Wilson's about to get paid?
He's going to be
Marshawn Lynch
in the hundreds.
He's free.
$100 million.
They have a couple guys on that defensive unit that need to be re-signed. This is the NFL.
That could be it.
The new NFL where people will leave.
3 years, 4 if you're lucky, unless you're the Colts. And once Peyton Manning leaves, you get Andrew Luck. I don't know how that happens. But unless you're the Patriots or the Colts, it's a 3 to 4 year window, and then you've got to start over.
Well, and so they lost defensive coordinator Quinn. He's gone. He was officially the Falcons coach. He'll be doing a press conference soon. So now you got to get a new D coordinator. You have to re-sign some key pieces. How much money are they going to be willing to spend on an offense that's already
Paul doesn't
limited?
Like you right now, the camera operator. He doesn't like anything you're saying.
He's still crying.
When you come back, we're going to release the Max Preps top 10 rankings right here on uSports Central. It'll be interesting to see if Sandia has found their way into that or not. Come on back and we'll show it to you. Come on, Charles. Relax a little.
I'm chilling.
Be good.